Okay, so here we are. First episode, yo. First episode. I'm so excited for this. And the reason why I'm excited for this is because it's been a long time coming. I'm not going to lie. What's going on? It's your favorite brother, Joseph, coming to you live from the studio. Well, it won't be live by the time you get this video. Full Circle Podcast, episode 1. And man, I'm so excited for this. Frankly, I'm really, a number of things are on my mind today, right? But I wanted to talk with you guys about this because this podcast has been delayed about a year. And it started off as an idea between me and a friend that I had met. Obviously, you have to meet them for them to become your friend. But we had met at a sports bar watching the NBA playoffs. I think it was about the year the Warriors won. Shout out Warriors, my favorite team. And so all of that ended up down the road. We had talked about it, shot an episode or two, and then things just didn't pan out. And she ended up kind of falling off a little bit, which if you're out there, hope you're doing okay. Reach out to me. Let me know what happened. I'm really curious. Other than that, I kind of went into this situation where I just stopped, and I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the podcast because, working with another person, oh man, you get so many ideas from that. And so I realized, most importantly, that the critical thing when it comes to doing this is to believe in the power of your vision and the power of your dream. And so that is what I want to talk to you guys a little bit about today on this inaugural episode. Just to give you a little bit of a background, Full Circle Podcast, we are going to be talking about a variety of things. The reason why I called it Full Circle is because this is supposed to represent literally covering every single thing that's going on in the center of our lives, right? Whether that's politics, whether that's sports, whether that's social issues, right? Look at this, dating in LA, all right? Dating anywhere you are, dating in the 21st century, right? Career stuff, right? Want to bring on career experts, but also just bring on my homies just to have conversations about like how we see life, and bringing people on to have conversations in a culture and a climate where it seems like we only are, commenting, and we like outrage, and we're looking for like whatever's going to get the hottest reaction, right? But whatever happened to those conversations where you sit down and you're like talking with your friends, or you're talking with people that have different perspectives, viewpoints than you have, and you can actually have that conversation in a way that is, educational. You can learn a lot about what's going on all around you, but more importantly, people can walk away feeling understood, and you don't have to be ashamed or embarrassed if you might have a viewpoint that, might be a little bit different than the status quo, but it's about having those conversations, having real conversations with one another about things we disagree on and about things we do agree on. That's whether it's your political party or your favorite sports team, right? There's room for, I'm a big sports enthusiast. There's room for all of that. Go Warriors. But with that being said, give people the opportunity to feel comfortable expressing and sharing that. So welcome again. Really, I think, I should probably start this off. Just kind of giving y'all a little bit of a story of where this idea came from for me. So, if you don't know me, you'll know me pretty soon. But if you don't know me, I love to talk, and I love talking to people that I know, which some of them you'll see here. And then of course I love talking to people that I've never met before, strangers and everything like that, and just having like entire conversations about, it could be anything. So for a really, really long time, right, I had been told, do a podcast. A lot of my friends have been telling me to do this, right? And I was like, okay. But you know how when you're talking to people regularly and you're just like, bro, I don't even know what I would even talk about, like you're talking with your friends, right? You're having those conversations, and it's so much easier when you're talking to people and having those conversations to feel like it's more natural. You know what I mean? It's not until you get into a situation where you are by yourself or with another person with a stack of glass staring at you in the face, that all of a sudden you realize, oh, wow, this could be a little intimidating. And so I want to talk about that a little bit today. Talk about like getting past your intimidations, talking about getting past your fears, and really being able to tackle that with a sense of confidence, and not just a sense of outward confidence, but really a sense of confidence in what you bring to the table and who you are. So, yeah, I mean, this pretty much started when I was doing Lyft and Uber driving. And I specifically remember while I was doing Lyft and Uber driving, I would just be, usually start off with some simple stuff because that Southern Caribbean side of me just won't stop greeting people. I would just be like, hey, how's your evening going? And boom, it would be like they would open the floodgates with conversation. And, whether it was 15-minute rides, 30-minute rides, even hour rides, the drives that we'd be taking would turn into these whole full-blown conversations about life and where people were at. And I always felt like it was just a window into me being able to talk to these people about what was going on with them and to make them feel comfortable into that space. And so one of the biggest things that I would hear all the time was, hey, bro, you should start a podcast, man. Or if you started a podcast, I'd listen. Or you should have me on your podcast, right? I remember one lady, she had just started seeing, I guess, this guy. It was like 2 or 3 months, and she was really into him. And she's a nurse. She got in the car, and I was like, oh, how you doing? How's everything going? You doing all right? And she was like, yeah, I'm doing pretty good, but I'm kind of worried about some stuff. And I was like, oh, really? What are you worried about? And then she starts opening up, and then she finally told me that she was worried because she was used to, having her relationships go south, right? When she started liking that person, which, I mean, I think we all can relate to that, right? She was like, I don't really know what to do in this situation because it feels like, everything's kind of going perfectly, like a little, maybe gets too perfect. And I told her, I was like, the most important thing that I think you can do in this situation is be honest with yourself and address how you're feeling about this. But also don't look for a bad thing when you're seeing good things. You keep your eyes open in general, right? Look for everything that's coming your way, but don't go looking for the bad, right? You keep your eyes open. And if you keep your eyes open, you will see good and you will see bad, right? But don't go looking for what's wrong, because whatever you focus on is what's going to get multiplied. And you'll know. If you pay attention, you'll know. And she was like, oh my God, you should start a podcast. We should totally have a conversation where we talk about this and all this other stuff. And I was like, well, girl, I don't know if you're going to have time between your job and what you're doing with nursing and this, but shoot, if you want to come on, let me know. And one of the things that I think is really, really cool about that is that conversation has mimicked and mirrored, excuse me. That conversation has mirrored many conversations that I've had with other people who were like, dude, we need to be having more of these conversations. And for me, I say that to say, I look at myself as a person who can start the conversation or not be afraid to ask those questions or take it to that place that it will be honest, it will be vulnerable, sometimes uncomfortable, but I think that's necessary for where we're going and everything that's happening in society right now. And so I just want to tell you guys that this podcast has been a really long time coming, but everything that I'm seeing going on in our world, everything that I'm seeing happen in the U.S., across the globe, in our politics, in our society, I think it is so important and it's so pivotal that we are communicating with one another again. We're having real, honest, yes, we can have emotions, but we need to have facts to be able to communicate what we're truly thinking and what we're truly feeling. There are so many people, I believe truly, that they feel like they're alone with some of these thoughts that they have in their mind. They're seeing stuff happening in culture, seeing things happen in society. They're seeing their friends maybe get married, or they're seeing their friends get opportunities, whether that's in music or acting, or people just going up the ladder, and starting to think to themselves, do I feel like I'm alone? This idea that I have, this bold idea, do you think, is anybody else going to believe in this but me? Is it stupid? Is it silly? And you are the people that I want to reach and have a conversation with. And I want you to feel brave and bold enough to take that step, right? Like even me doing this today, I had a conversation with my therapist, and I was like, oh man, like, I don't know, like I want to talk about all these different things. And she was like, why don't you stop thinking about it as being something that you have to do so that you can make it into something? And why don't you just have fun with it? And for some reason, when she said that, my whole way of seeing and approaching it changed. And I want to encourage you to do that today. Think of it that way. Whatever it is that you're pursuing, whatever your goal is in life, whatever it is that you're struggling with, because you are not sure if it can work out, or you're scared to get it off the ground because you don't know what other people are going to think. What if you took that step? What if you took that step towards doing it and having fun with it? What if you took that first acting class, not thinking about if it would be the most perfect or if you'd be the best at it, but you just took that step and said, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. I believe that will be the beginning of something new and bold and fresh in your life that can have an impact on other people. And you never know, it takes one action, one decision to step towards your goals and your dreams to completely change everything and turn the light on, right? I don't know why we snap our fingers when we say turn the light on. There goes that thumbs up. Here's the deal. This is something that, once again, it has terrified me for the longest time, taking that step in this direction. But one thing that I know is that taking bold steps and being courageous doesn't mean you're not going to feel fear. You have to feel that fear. But what you do once you take that step is what's going to determine who you are and the confidence that you have in who you are as you step into that next season of your life. And so I just want to encourage y'all out here. If you have a goal, if you have a dream, I know we're all doing stuff out here, whether, we're working 2 to 3 jobs while we're trying to create our first film, our, first album, single, whatever it is. Take a step towards it. Write down what you want in the full picture, and then begin to list what you need to do to get there. And then just take steps every single day. You will be amazed who will come alongside you in that process to assist you in the journey of getting to where you want to be. And so I just want to encourage you guys with that. Moving forward, this podcast is sponsored by you. Right, coming with you, and sponsored by the water that helps keep me alive, the water from my apartment. But no, for real, this content is generated from my brain, which is brilliant, I must say, but also your ideas. And so I just want to tell y'all, if you have any ideas about topics, anything you want to hear about, we will definitely be bringing on a lot of my friends, personal friends of mine, as well as people that I know that I've been meeting out and about and having great combos with, to talk about different issues that you guys find of interest. So if you want an episode where we talk about dating, right? I would love to have you guys talk about that, right? Because there's some stuff we could really dive into, right? We could talk about politics. We just had an election recently. As many of you know, maybe some of you know, I'm very, very politically involved and have been for quite some time. So that's another topic we can talk about. But I would love to bring on guests that see things completely different than me. That's where we need to go in this country and in this world. The stark opposition and not listening to one another isn't working. It's just not. And so we need to spend more time listening than labeling. and more time building than breaking. So I really want to take those opportunities to do that. We're going to have a lot of fun on this podcast. That's the whole goal. So once again, feel free. Shoot me a DM. Let me know what you guys want to hear about. I'd be more than happy to get back with you. Follow us on the pod as well. The pod is Full Circle Pod on Instagram. We'll be having way more handles coming up for, Blue Sky, which is a brand new social media that just recently came out. So we will be having Blue Sky being released. Really excited to talk with you guys more about that as well, because I'm still learning, just like most of the people that I know. And then we'll also have a TikTok as well. So feel free to follow us there. I will let you know when that's going to happen. With that being said, I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. We're doing it. We're making this happen. And I really want to encourage you once again, take that step towards your dreams, towards your goals. And once again, you never know who and what will align around you as you take steps towards your future. Have a great one from your favorite brother. I'll see y'all next time.